Welcome to Konoha Crush, a clandestine effort to exhaustively research and document events occurring in and around the village hidden in the leaves. I'm Ruby.
I'm Gwen. Hi.
Hi, it's the podcast time. Hello.
It's the podcast. Hi. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm feeling good about these episodes. I'm feeling good about just being here.
Oh, totally.
Yeah, I mean, but before we get into our episodes, what have you been up to this last week or so?
Fucking criminy. Not a whole lot.
Damn, you're slacking off. I can't believe this.
I know. Well, I'm not slacking off. That's why I haven't done a whole lot of fun stuff.
Okay, all right. I mean, I know we've both been watching an anime that we can't talk about on this one, but
yeah.
You know.
And like I've just been doing a lot of other work with like Twitch stuff, and like I have a comic coming, so like
it's a busy time. You don't always get to watch anime that isn't Naruto.
It's a busy time, and I'm a busy bitch.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't have shit going on in my life, evidently, so I've done some stuff.
Nice. You want to talk about it?
I do actually. I mean, yeah. Let me. I guess the first thing I want to talk about is I watched the Netflix original anime Vampire in the Garden.
Okay.
Yeah. It's all right. I guess like the main draw is like the character designs are by Tetsuya Nishio, and he did a lot of supervision on the whole show. Tetsuya Nishio, if you're not familiar, is one of the character designers on Naruto, so the whole show looks very much like Naruto, often to like a greater extent than like the episodes we watched this week did. Like just in terms of like what I see in my head when I think about what Naruto looks like.
Interesting.
Right, like it all looks very much like here's the like cast of like a Naruto movie that aren't the usual Naruto characters, and so anytime the fucking Orange Cake could show up and like do a Rasengan, like a special Rasengan that he does only once.
Wow.
But it's like I don't know. It's I won't pretend I didn't have a good time with it, but it's also kind of a mess.
Sounds familiar.
Did I say this sort of thing a lot?
No, it's just don't worry about it.
Okay, I won't worry about it. I mean, like it's about like there's like a world that's like there's a war between vampires and humans in this world, and like there's a girl, like a human girl, who's in the human city, and she's like in the army or whatever, but also hold on, I'm explaining this very poorly.
Okay, right off the bat, is it gay?
Like kinda, but like
okay.
I wouldn't be like, hey, if you want something gay, go right for this, right? But there's a vampire girl, and there's a human girl, and there's like some sweet scenes between them,
Yeah. It's the like, I get it.
Mm-hmm. And hold on, where the fuck was I? Right. She's in the human military, and in human society, nobody has like art or music or anything. They're like, that's vampire shit. We don't want it. Just live and don't do shit other than like be in our human military or whatever. Go to work in our like garbage processing plant where we just destroy like musical instruments and radios en masse. It's all very it's very broad and kind of silly and like a little bit young adult novel feeling at times.
It should have been gay.
It's a if somebody wanted to describe it as gay, I wouldn't fault them for that. It's just anyway, and then she meets like a vampire girl, and the vampire girl's kind of getting over like a human that she used to know who like died, and they go on the run together, and they go to various other places where there's like other dynamics between vampires and humans. They go to a town that's like, oh, here's like half the town is the vampire half and half the town is the human half, and they like meet in the middle to like exchange blood for money. And it's just a lot of like go into various places, and then like the places kind of explode as they have to leave and go somewhere else, and none of these places are like super strongly defined. They're all very loosely painted. They're all kind of relying on like pretty broad tropes, but it's really carried by the fact that the show just looks really good. Like the environments are all like visually depicted like very stunningly. There's a great sense of like lighting, and I think the character art is like consistently excellent throughout. There's a lot of like really fantastic animation.
Yeah, I'm looking at some images, and it looks so much like Naruto.
It looks so much like Naruto, right? It's kind of stunning. I watched that. I had a pretty good time, all things considered.
Right, yeah.
I guess the other thing is I got our Berserk update here.
Ooh.
Yeah, I've read through the Eclipse, and then like a little bit past that, towards the stuff immediately after that where Guts is kind of getting back on his feet.
Yeah, I saw you post about Guts' groovy metal hand.
His groovy metal hand. Yeah, I must say, I'm presently not on speaking terms with Griffith, the former leader of the Band of the Hawk.
Yeah.
I've gone my separate ways with him and his ideals for now. I'm gonna need some time on that one.
Yeah, generally speaking, a good call at this point in the comic.
Yeah, it's not an unpredictable reaction, I imagine. I think, to the comic's credit, the feeling of betrayal that comes across is very real and very raw and like very striking. I think that there is an extent, there is a sort of like lurid detail with which some of the shit that he does that is depicted that I'm not really going to condone here and is probably not necessary. But like, the emotional content of that part is like, it really hit for me. It was like, oh, God damn it. I'm like even knowing what was coming, I had like bought in enough to really like let that land for me and let that hit for me, and I was
yeah, because you, the reader, want to like Griffith so bad.
Yeah, it's like I'm sure maybe this time, like now that I'm reading it, he won't do something fucked up and awful. Maybe for me.
Maybe for Ruby's very special copy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I'm. I guess I don't really know what to expect at this point, because this is like, I'm sort of past the point where the like cultural perception of Berserk sort of tapers off, because as I understand, most adaptations of it just kind of like end around there, and so I'm curious to see what it becomes. I'm like, I definitely expect to be like in a point of like sort of waiting for the comic to like recoalesce into like something I like again, but like I'm excited to go on that journey. I'm excited to see what's coming.
Yeah, man, I'm so excited for you to get into it.
Yeah, well, I guess like maybe next week I'll have more to say, but like that's all the comic I've read for now. So
right, and like there are some things that I want to say about it that I will like refrain, because like I want you to go into it without those like expectations. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I guess if that's all, do we want to get into our episodes for this week?
Episode 57. He flies, he jumps, he lurks. Chief Toad appears. After checking to make sure Gamabunta doesn't have a tail, Naruto's super impressed with himself. Gamabunta doesn't appreciate the commotion and nearly sends Naruto flying with a shout, and asks where Jiraiya is so he can kick his ass for summoning him in a spike chasm. Naruto corrects him, but Gamabunta laughs it off. Naruto doesn't appreciate the condescension and starts barking orders, so Gamabunta just hops out of the cliff in protest. He flings Naruto off his back when he lands, saying even if Naruto was the one who summoned him, there's no way he'd follow orders from someone who falls off his back so easily. He turns to leave, and Naruto climbs back on, saying if staying on his back will earn his respect, then he'll stay on for the rest of the day. Gamabunta immediately starts trying to shake him off.
Alright, yeah, so I am very relieved, because we finished the last episode off by just going like, hey, Gamabunta fucking owns. And, yeah. Like, very, very happy to report that I started up watching this episode, and, like, Gamabunta is immediately just a complete delight. I love that guy.
Gamabunta so much.
He's so much fun. It's just kind of a succession of, like, great bits when they're, like, down in the spike chasm. It's adorable that Naruto's first instinct, even after summoning the biggest thing he's ever fucking seen in his life, is to go, like, okay, let's be absolutely sure. This guy doesn't have a tail. This guy's got 4 legs. Okay, I'm good. I'm in the clear. And in general, like, I really like this. I really like how much farther the anime takes the scene in terms of like how much Naruto is just kind of like walking around and tumbling around on like Gamabunta's back, and he's like hanging off his pipe and stuff. It's it plays up the staging of the scene in a way that I think is really fun.
Yeah,
like it's just generally delightful. Other really great bits in here. We get the reveal that Naruto still doesn't know Jiraiya's name.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he knows now.
He knows now, but like,
if he was paying attention, which
He'll probably. I guess when like. I guess I don't know if in any of the other episodes this week if Naruto like provably remembers Jiraiya's name, so maybe he doesn't really pick up on it. But like he's been told at this point.
Yeah, we'll see.
I also like Gamabunta to be like, okay, kid, obviously you didn't summon me, but I like your moxie. You can join my fucking Toad Yakuza if you want.
It's so good. It's so good. Oh my god. I love this man so much.
He's so good. Right, like Naruto's like getting kind of angry about that. He's like starting to pick a fight, and Gamabunta's like, "Kid, you can't even fucking drink yet. What
are you gonna fucking do?
You can't exchange sake cups with me. So it doesn't fucking matter to me. That's all fake." Of course, Naruto is nothing if not committed in his desire to pick a fight with this frog now or toad now. So he's gonna do that.
I gotta say, Naruto has a really good track record for like barking orders at big scary monsters.
Yeah, it's like I mean he's like this is like the second episode in a row for him right now. He's really pulling it off.
Yeah. Like it really works out well for him.
Yeah. Like eventually he's gonna have to learn like more social skills, but like right now his he has found the environment in which his ability to be sort of like brash and disrespectful is best suited, and that's great for him.
Yeah, it's when it's funny and the opponent is much, much bigger than you.
Yeah. The opponent is like knows that they're like bigger and stronger than you to such an extent that they can just go like, yeah, that's pretty funny.
I mean, that's why I'm charmed by Naruto.
Because you can kick his ass.
Yeah, because I can kick his ass.
I wasn't doubting you. I didn't mean to sound like I was doubting you there.
Yeah, no worries. I know you know that I can kick his ass.
Okay. As long as we're on the same page there.
We are.
Yeah, so Gamabunta like jumps out of the spike chasm at this point. He's like gonna go look for Jiraiya, and Jiraiya's just like, I'm out of here. I don't want to deal with this.
Fucking later.
But, like I do really like the cut of I do really like the scene of Gamabunta like rocking up out of the chasm. There's like some there's like a pretty solid like sense of the shape of like a big toad as he's flying through the air. You get some like fun cartoony stuff of like Naruto desperately trying to hang on.
Yeah, I was gonna say the like physicality of his fucking toad bot is so good when he jumps out of the air. Like it's really
good, right? And like that's definitely the peak. But I was like kind of surprised by how like for the most part, there's like some kind of awkward looking cuts, but like for the most part, I think that you get a really good sense of like Gamabunta has like a physical presence. Like I think his they saw that he's like a big guy and like he feels very present in all the scenes that he's in. And it, there's like a nice sense of weight a lot of the time. I'm like, I was really pleasantly surprised by that.
Yeah.
Naruto decides after being told that anybody who falls off Gamabunta's back isn't good enough for him, that he's just gonna get up on there. This is like the big point of like expanding out the episode this time. In the manga, Naruto just basically faints immediately once he gets jumped out of the chasm. And then Gamabunta's like, all right, I respect this kid's moxie enough to like kind of go along with this. But here we get a whole bunch of Naruto trying to like hang on to Gamabunta. Like ultimately, I'm fine with that because I'm just having a great time when they're both on screen. Like it's not the most substantial thing in the world, but it's like fun because Gamabunta rocks.
Yeah, it rules because like you said, like I love both of these characters, and especially when they're like interacting with each other. And it's just like I think it's like a fairly like fun and like cute and like characterful thing for Gamabunta to just be like entertaining this.
Yeah, for sure. And Jiraiya he's perched off in the distance. He's like sort of paying attention to this, but like in classic Jiraiya fashion, we need to get Kakashi's dogs on screen to like keep him reined in.
We can't keep calling these girls Kakashi's dogs.
Why not? Who's going to stop us?
Fair. I'm just saying it sounds really bad if people don't have the context for it.
Well, maybe. If you're like, what the fuck are they talking about? Listen to the previous episode of our podcast. That's a pretty good one.
Yeah, it is a pretty good one.
Do we want to move on to the next half of this episode?
Yeah, let's go ahead.
Okay.
Back at the village, Kankuro and Tamari are having a chat about the upcoming tournament. Kankuro mentions that Tamari could have easily become a chunin if she had taken the test a year earlier. Tamari doesn't want to talk about it. and remembers Baki telling them that their purpose isn't to pass the chunin exam, but to take down the Leaf Village, and lays out the motivation for this plan. Gamabunta keeps trying to shake off Naruto, and Baki delivers the Sound Village's plans to the Kazekage. Naruto hangs on all the way to sunset. Not wanting to lose, Gamabunta finally stops playing around and shakes him off, but Naruto catches himself with a chain of shadow clones, celebrates, and then passes out from exhaustion. Gamabunta catches him and congratulates his effort just before Jiraiya tosses down the scroll Naruto signed as proof Naruto summoned him, but Gamabunta didn't have any doubts. Gamabunta delivers the unconscious Naruto to the hospital.
So yeah, we get some stuff with the Sand siblings here, and I feel like this is definitely where like the real meat of the episode. Like it is definitely like where the bulk of the notes that I took about this one are.
Yeah.
But like first things first, I do like this little bit we get of like Conqueror and Tamara just kind of hanging out. I like Conqueror's being like, hey, you know, you're definitely good at Pikachu, and I'm sorry that this is the shit that you got caught up in. Like, you know, it's like kind of sweet in like the way that Conqueror can be. And I also like that Conqueror's like, no, it's fine. I don't gotta watch Gaara. He's not gonna cause any problems right now.
Yeah, no, Gaara's fine. He's like totally a normal boy.
He's like he is definitely just gonna chill all day and not cause any difficulties for anybody.
Look, if there's one thing we know about our boy Gaara is that he doesn't like causing problems.
Yeah, then we get the flashback to like Baki laying out like why they're like, you know, attacking the Leaf Village, and this stuff is very interesting to me, right? We get Baki explaining that the treaty with the Leaf is basically just like hugely disadvantageous to the Sand in like every way, right? Like it's
yeah.
It's fine for the nation, but like the Ninja Village is just kind of floundering because like the Leaf is just taking most of their jobs because like most of the missions because you know they're offering like lower rates and the Sand Village is getting kind of like getting their budget slashed, so it's like you know it creates a very understandable environment for the sort of hold on. It creates like an environment that it makes a lot of sense for like what Baki is expressing here to rise from. It's also like kind of interesting in terms of like, okay, right, the Leaf has these treaties with a bunch of other villages, and if they don't immediately know that the Sand is who's pissed off at them, they're probably all kind of like this.
Oh yeah, the Leaf is doing this to fucking everybody. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, right. Like everybody who is like close enough by to be like, yeah, don't worry, we can handle your shit. Is like,
yeah, just send the missions our way. We'll do them, no problem.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. And look, don't even mind that means that we're sending Leaf Shinobi into a lot of your territory a lot of the time. Just like, don't worry about it. We're here on good faith.
Yeah, and so it paints this like really fascinating conflict between like here's the Leaf as this sort of like soft encroaching power in all these other places versus like, you know, Baki and like the Kazekage and people with them, and the sort of like reactionary nationalism of like, no, we need our like strong self-determining army to like make sure that our nation keeps existing. We need to be able to like exist on that level. I like kind of a nightmare ideology, right? But like it's very fascinating, and I feel like it's actually like really grounded in terms of like what we've been told about the world in this scene.
Yeah, I mean, like that is it is very easily to see like a nationalist like rhetoric like spread from like those exact events. Like it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And like, you know, it's interesting.
Yeah. And yeah, so we also get Baki like looking at Gardens like, yeah, this is why we need to make like super traumatized, fucked up murder children like you, because they're slashing our fucking budget. We have no choice but to make you like super sad, super fucked up. And Gaara's just like, yeah, okay, fine.
Yeah, we can't afford to pay 10 normal guys to go do shit anymore. We have to send one sicko. So we gotta make more sickos.
We gotta really get those sicko engines going. Yeah, there's like another element to like what Baki spells out here in terms of like, yeah, like, you know, we ninjas are like tools of conflict, and like we need to like we need to be able to keep existing for ourselves, right? Like ourselves, right? Like the system we're a part of needs to like perpetuate, and like to Baki and to a lot of people like him, it feels like very much like a direct threat. That like he wouldn't be able to be in the position he is right now anymore. I think that's very interesting.
Yeah, right? Like, if we don't go to war, I'm gonna get fired.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna have to go be a fucking farmer or something. I don't know
Or-
how to fucking do that.
We're just gonna be like a fucking wandering mercenary guy, and I'm not gonna have like a house in a village to come back to. That's gonna suck shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's. I mean, like there's like a very real sense of like, yeah, okay, we like these people who have been trained to be like weapons and not much else are like, oh shit, if we don't have the job that lets us be weapons, it's gonna be a bad thing for us. We gotta. We got to make sure that we're still getting the funding to like keep making more child soldiers. Like I think that the investment in perpetuating all of that, it feels very it feels very grounded within the world that's being presented to us.
Yeah, it's totally believable.
And we also get like another scene later where Baki is like meeting with the Kazekage, right? And like this is like a little less. I think this is like a little less meaty to me, but I think there's a few interesting things here. Like this one's mostly about like talking about the logistics of the invasion, and the Kazekage is like reluctant to put too many soldiers in place because that would like draw attention from the Leaf. Like I kind of have to wonder if there's like an extent to which like, yeah, the Kazekage wants this to happen, but also he's kind of trying to position stuff so like if the people who get caught up in this like get killed, he can just kind of sever that off pretty cleanly. He's kind of like, yeah, those were extremists or whatever, and like, hey, I got rid of my like awful son that I hate.
Like this interaction especially does read a lot as like the Kazekage just being like, look, dude, you're on your own, because if you fuck up, it's not my problem.
Yeah, or like I don't doubt that the Kazekage wants this to succeed, but also he's playing. It seems like he might be playing both sides enough to like get out of this clean regardless of what happens. We'll see how that goes for him, but
yeah, right, because like if they fuck up and like the Leaf Village doesn't get destroyed or whatever, then the Leaf Village is gonna be mad at them. And that'll be bad. Apparently the Leaf Village is just this like huge military power out of nowhere.
It is definitely like a weird thing of like, oh, Orochimaru in like our previous set of episodes was like, yeah, they're like scaling back. They're like they're like military training. They're not like building up their army enough, and like also they're the guys who are like encroaching on everybody else's shit. It's
yeah, it's a little bit weird.
It's a little bit weird. But I'm like bought into what's being presented to us here for the most part. We get, and then I guess we kind of circle back around to Naruto, right? We get like a great bit of like Naruto's like, yeah, that's right, it's almost sunset, and I've stayed on your back this whole time, and if I keep on your back until then, like you have to like listen to me. And Gamabunta's like, you literally just made that shit up. I can't believe you.
Yeah, and then it's just like, okay, I'm done fucking around, and just shakes him off immediately.
Yeah.
I love Gamabunta so much.
He's a great guy. He just rocks. I was like, hey, Naruto's got like enough chakra left in his like used all his chakra state to make a bunch of shadow clones. Don't worry about it too much. I do actually think the scene of like Naruto making a bunch of shadow clones and like pulling him up is like again, this is another thing that looks pretty good. Like I think there's like some really nice loose shapes on the clones, and the like little looping animation of like the chain pulling them back up looks pretty good.
Yep.
Just pretty solid stuff. That resolves that pretty cleanly, right? Like he talked about in the summary about how Gamabunta's like, yeah, okay, this kid's pretty cool, and dry tosses up the scroll. Yeah, I guess that's basically that. Gamabunta's a king. Takes Naruto to the hospital, leaves a big fucking toad footprint in the concrete.
What a cool fucking guy.
What a cool fucking guy. I just love Gamabunta.
I want Gamabunta to be my dad.
Yeah, that's respectable.
I think if Gamabunta was my dad, I could do anything.
That's so right. You're so right now. Yeah. Did you have anything else you want to say about this episode?
No. You ready to move on?
I'm ready to move on. Yeah.
Okay. Episode 58. Hospital besieged. The evil hand revealed. Baki yells at Kankuro and Tamari for losing track of Gaara, and Shikamaru hangs out with an unconscious Naruto at the hospital. Gaara approaches the hospital in sicko mode, and Naruto awakes and freaks out about having been asleep for 3 days, and settles down only when it hits him how hungry he is. Lucky Shikamaru has a fruit basket Choji wasn't allowed to have. Sakura arrives with a new flower for Lee and finds the hospital lobby suspiciously empty. She signs herself in, and we see Gaara's shadow loom around, creepily. Sakura replaces Lee's old flower, and Gaara sneaks in after she leaves, coiling sand around an unconscious Lee.
A thing that I think is very funny at the start of this episode, especially in light of the previous episode, is like Baki's like barging in on like Kankuro and Tamari and just like, hey, where's Gaara? And Kankuro's like, oh, I just wasn't watching him. And like the last time we heard that Kankuro wasn't watching Gaara was like 3 days ago. So Kankuro's just been fucking sleeping on the job, and he's like, yeah, it'll be fine. I bet Gaara hasn't left that room once.
Yeah, Gaara totally doesn't like go out on the roof to kill people, or like leave the house to like wander the streets to kill people, or like go to the hospital on a whim to kill people.
He's just sort of assuming that like if Gaara was doing that, there would be a lot more corpses we were dealing with by now, so it's probably fine.
Yeah, Kankuro's idea of watching Gaara is like looking at the horizon for smoke.
Right. Like he's like, because like if Gaara's actually trying, if Gaara is actually trying shit, Kankuro's not gonna do anything. He's gonna be like, oh man, your vibes are so fucking weird. I'm getting out of here. But like, so maybe this is on Baki. I don't know what Baki was expecting here.
Yeah, right. Like, what's Kankuro gonna do? Just fucking go like, please don't. No, you're gonna. Okay, bye.
Okay, yeah, all right. I mean, like, I don't like this. I want this on record that I think you're being kind of cringe right now. But I gotta go.
Look, as your older brother, I gotta say, pretty cringe. Gaara's just like, you're cringe.
What's cringe is how few murders you're doing. Yeah, Sakura stops by Ino's flower shop again to get another flower for Rock Lee. Ino's like trying to like taunt Sakura about being like less efficiently straight for Sasuke than she is, because there's just nothing for these girls right now. This is pretty dire.
It's really bad.
Like it is frustrating, both in the sense that like, okay, like we had their whole relationship and it's just kind of like collapsed down to like its least interesting version, and also like when Sakura's whole deal for so long has been like, oh, she's got like her like inner Sakura that's like how like kind of like rowdy and rambunctious she actually is. It's like contrasted by how like nice she needs to feel. It's kind of annoying to like see how much of like Sakura's deal now is just sort of being shoehorned into like, oh, she's being the nice and considerate one, and she's like actually just a nice sweet girl with nothing else going on. It's a bummer.
God, it would be so good if like Ino was the only person Sakura couldn't like hold herself back around.
Right? Oh my god.
God, can you imagine if Sakura was just like a completely different person around Ino just because like fucking...
Just like she didn't know each other for so long, so it's like why bother? You know what's up with me.
Yeah.
I got nothing to prove.
Right, and then like Ino could give her shit about like being all like nice and friendly around other people.
Yeah.
Right? Oh my god, it would be so good.
It'd be good. But no, we can't have good things here. And in this regard anyway. There's plenty of stuff I like in these episodes. And in this episode even. Just not for Ino and Sakura really.
It's fine as long as we don't think about the girls.
Yeah, Shikamaru is like, he's like chilling in Naruto's room playing shogi against himself. There's a bit where like his the sand in his hourglass starts going weird, and he's like kind of confused about it. So we get this image of like there's sort of sense like, oh, does sand just act weird around Gaara? Is that the inference we're meant to make? Is it just all sand just kind of freaks out?
Yeah, I don't know. There's a really funny line in the dub around that.
Yeah.
When he's like addressing the stopped hourglass, he's like, "Someone forget to wind this or something."
Oh my god.
I thought it was pretty good. It got me. Like it's very much like a dub line, but it's.
Mm-hmm.
I'm charmed by these things.
I get that. I mean, that's why you're the one watching the dub.
Yeah.
We definitely it's been kind of abrupt for Shikamaru, but I guess he's decided that he's like basically cool with Naruto now, and like I guess he sort of needs to be for like the rest of this episode to work the way it does.
Yeah,
but,
sure.
He's like there's a part of me that kind of likes to think that like half the reason he's here is that like he just knows he can like fucking play shogi against himself in peace, right? Like nobody's gonna come in here and ask if they want and ask to play with him, and like if Naruto wakes up, Naruto doesn't care about playing shogi, so he's fine. He can just keep doing his shit.
Yeah, and like there's got to be at least like a little bit that like Shikamaru just like cares about this kid, right? Because like they were schoolmates,
Yeah.
and like
I don't actually have a problem with it. Like, I know this is sort of the thing that, like, is gonna happen. Like, everybody just kind of becomes, like, cool with Naruto. And, like, we definitely get a lot of, like, backfilling of, like later on, like, oh, yeah, actually, they were, like, basically kind of, like, shithead friends in, like, the Ninja Academy and some later stuff. Like it does feel, like, a little jarring, given how recently, like, like, in the preliminary rounds, like, we have so much stuff, like, everybody in the room is just like, oh, Naruto isn't shit. But, like, I don't have a problem with them all coming around, and, like, I do ultimately like I like when Naruto has friends, because I think that kid's great, and, I think that Shikamaru's actual dynamic with Naruto here is pretty fun.
Yeah, like, it's good. I want to be friends with Naruto.
Yeah, and you can also kick his ass.
I could also kick his ass, which is why I want to be friends with him.
Wait, hold on, are you only friends with people you can kick the asses of?
Well, not necessarily. There are lots of reasons, but like,
That's one of them.
Yeah. Like, if it would be a tough fight, I'd find him annoying.
Okay. It's like either Naruto's gotta, like, rein it in before he gets too much stronger, or he's gotta, like, or you just gotta, like, keep ahead of him.
Yeah, or if he could kick my ass, I'd be like, all right, dude, yeah, you got it, man.
All right, yeah, that's fine. Well, like I said, I do ultimately like the scene of Shikamaru and Naruto in the hospital room. I like that Naruto wakes up and is immediately freaking out about when the chunin exams are, and like it is like just kind of continuously freaking out until he like remembers that he's hungry because he's been asleep for 3 days.
Yeah, it's good.
It's good. It's like it's a fun bit. I think this is like another scene that does a lot to like make the presentation of it more dynamic than it was in the manga. Naruto is like definitely moving around in this hospital bed more than he was in the manga version of this scene. Like he's just a goofy, energetic kid. He's been asleep for a long time. He's ready to get up and at him. He's like kind of hungry, but also his like the extent to which he's hungry is like immediately overpowered by like his ability to like do a prank. So he'll like put that off for a while.
I love Naruto so much.
He's great.
Like, right, because like the thing he's going to go do is like eat it in front of Choji, who can't have any, right? Like, and that is such a thing. I respect that so much.
All right.
Like it is just like the flavor of shithead that I am always charmed by.
That makes sense. I guess like the other thing is like throughout this episode up until this point, we've had like occasional cuts to like outside of like these rooms where we just have like Gaara's shadow like ominously extending through hallways and stuff. Like he's just been like lurking around the hospital like basically all day, it seems like.
Yeah.
The preview for this episode last time has this bit where like it's all narration by Jiraiya that makes it sound like Gaara is just kind of like wandering around and killing people in the hospital, and he's not really doing that, but like.
Okay, but like here's the thing, where were the people in the fucking lobby, right? Like,
they're okay. I mean, like when Sakura comes into the lobby, there's like a message like, "Hey, we all went out to lunch. Everybody who works at this hospital went out to lunch," which seems like a bad idea to me. But like, I mean, maybe like Gaara doesn't really strike me as the kind of guy to like write like a fake message that was like, "Yeah, these guys I killed were just at lunch."
Was it a message that said they're at the lunch, or was Sakura like, did they go out to lunch?
I think there's like a message that she looks at that's like, "Hey, we're on a break."
Okay, I read that scene totally differently.
Okay, I mean, maybe Gaara just killed like a lot of like doctors and nurses and shit, and we just didn't see it. That's possible too. But anyway, like Sakura arrives and like Gaara keeps like ominously appearing behind her, sort of, and then like but like is gone when she turns around. It definitely kind of gives the impression that like Gaara has been here looking for Rock Lee, but like is kind of lost, and so needs to follow somebody to his room.
Yeah, it's really fun. Because like he's 12, he gets lost in a hospital.
Yeah, I can't blame him. He's not used to this hospital.
I'm fucking 26, I'll get lost in a hospital.
They make those buildings confusing.
Like they look the same no matter where you go.
You know, once we've established that like Gaara is like, going towards Rock Lee's room, we just get this like succession of like scenes where like every time anybody opens up a door, there's like this ominous music playing and like this terrible lingering as like the door opens without seeing who it is, right? Like
I like that a lot. I like the tension of like not knowing which room they're gonna open the door up into, right?
Yeah. And like who's gonna come in? But like I think it's kind of funny because like when Gaara actually like shows up in Rock Lee's room, we don't see him like open up the door at all. He's just there.
He just turns into sand and slides on under.
Yeah, he doesn't need doors. It's fine.
Who needs fucking doors?
Anyway, I think that's what I'd say about this half of the episode. If we're
Yeah, alright, let's move on. Shikamaru steps in and gets Gaara with shadow possession, and Naruto socks him in the jaw, hurting Shikamaru as well. Naruto demands to know what's going on, and Gaara just straight up admits he was going to kill Lee. They have a little standoff, and Naruto can't help but brag about the fox sealed inside him. Gaara uses this as an excuse to share his life story, and Naruto finally realizes how similar he and Gaara are. Gaara quits pretending the shadow possession makes him unable to use sand, and tries to murder Shikamaru and Naruto when Guy steps in and tells them to save it for the tournament. Something about Guy really ruins the mood for Gaara, and he heads out, saying he still intends to kill them.
Yeah, so I do really love this bit where, like, you know, Naruto and Shikamaru like bust into the room. You know, Rock Lee's like here trying to kill. I mean, Gaara's trying to kill Rock Lee. And they're just like, "Hey, what the hell are you doing?" And Gaara's like, "Wait, is this not obvious to you? I'm here to murder. Like, was my deal not clear by this point? I'm here to do a murder." It's just very normal to him, and he doesn't get why Naruto and Shikamaru even need to ask. Which, like, fair.
Yeah, it's really good.
You probably could have guessed it.
Did you not see? Lee's here. I'm gonna kill him.
Yeah, you see all the sand. You know what I do with this, right? Like, I mean, you know, maybe you weren't paying that close attention earlier when I almost crushed him with sand, but I'm like, I'm gonna do that the rest of the way now. Is the ideal.
So there's this guy in the forest with like an umbrella.
It was so fucking awesome. I picked up his umbrella to like prevent his blood from raining on me. You should have been there.
You should have been
crazy.
there. It was really cool.
Shikamaru's got an idea of how to handle this, so he like leads in. He's like, "Hey, you know, actually, back in the preliminaries, I didn't use all of my best techniques, and this Naruto guy's really strong too." And Gaara's just kind of like, "You know, I can do more murders, right? Like, I don't have to just do one murder here in this hospital room. I'm like pretty open. My schedule's wide open right now.
I could do as many murders as I need to. In fact, I cherish the opportunity."
But it is very bold of like Shikamaru to like think that he could come across as a guy who has more than one trick.
Extremely bold.
Yeah.
Like, he does other things with that trick down the line, but like it's always just just the one.
He's got like the one jutsu, and like, you know, Naruto is pretty strong, right? Like he's like a tough guy, but like he hasn't eaten in 3 days. He's like kind of on the right track. Like, yeah, I've actually got like a big, tough, scary guy in me. So like, why don't you fuck around and see what happens? But Gaara, unfortunately for him, Gaara's like, you know, actually me too. So like, fuck off.
Yeah, Gaara's just like, oh, mood.
Oh yeah, really? Huh? That's great. Let me tell you about like the fucked up, scary guy I got in me.
So something I noticed about this, I wonder if it like hasn't. If like the whole like tailed beasts thing like hasn't been like fully figured out.
Oh, there is like no doubt in my mind that it hasn't been fully figured out, right? I because of the way that like everybody like because of the way that even people in like the Sand Village talk about like the thing that they did with Gaara being like this special thing that they're doing because of extreme circumstances, and because of like they talk about the sand spirit that was sealed in Gaara as if it like used to be a person.
Yeah.
This is like almost certainly something that they just kind of like retconned later and just sort of smoothed over for the purpose of having like a different sort of unified mythology of like big guys you like sealing babies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is just something that I picked up on. But I like this story more. It's cool.
Yeah, no, it is definitely cool. Like, oh yeah, there's like different like weird shit going on that you can like seal into babies. Like there's there's like some very like definite differences in terms of like what like the basic reality of what happened, right? Because like Naruto was like he had the fox sealed in him after he was born, like kind of in like emergency situation, and Gaara had like the thing sealed in him like before he was born in terms of like trying to make like a fucked up super weapon child explicitly.
Yeah.
And it is definitely like a different texture that like even if like the facts of that story remain true, like just sort of like unifying these things into like a practice that all of the villages know about and like are engaging with on some level, it definitely changes things.
Yeah, right. Because I don't. Yeah.
Did you have more you want to say about that?
No, I don't want to get too much into it yet, just because it's just like I don't know how much I like it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like the whole time these things,
guess,
but like, you know.
I guess we'll like be paying attention to that, you know, when we get the like tailed beast lore and stuff, we can be like, hey, is this lame actually? You know, we'll find out. We'll figure it out together.
Yeah, I'm excited. Yeah, and so then like Gaara goes on to be like, ever since I was a little baby boy, I was fucking coddled, and like nothing was ever allowed to like cause me any troubles or anything. And then when I was 6, my dad
incident happened. Right? Like, there was the incident, and like he just like leaves it there, and he waits for Naruto to ask what was up twice before he starts grinning like a sicko, and he was like, "Yeah, my dad tried to kill me 1,000,000 fucking times."
My dad has tried to kill me every fucking day.
Yeah, and he's fucked up every time, as you can see, because I'm here, and like 600 assassins aren't.
That's 100 a year. I'm starting to think Gaara's assassination attempts are the reason that the Sand Village is in such dire straits.
It's probably not helping. They should have sent less guys at him.
Yeah, just like chill, dude. Yeah, like half of our shinobi are on Gaara assassination duty, and also they died.
Yeah. Like just send him off on dangerous missions on his own if you want to get rid of him that bad. It's fine, you know. Like if he wins, it's good for you. If he dies, like I guess that's also good for you. Just don't worry about it.
Yeah, just like I was gonna say, just like send him to the Leaf Village and see what happens, but that's kind of what they're doing.
Yeah, that's basically what they're doing. It's like I guess they got their revenge. They're like, okay, we've lost too many guys to this, so it's just it's time to cut this one loose and see where it goes.
Yeah, so like. After like so many assassination attempts, like Gaara realized that he's just like, you know what? My life's been about murder so far. Let's see what it's like from the other end. Oh, I like this better. Yeah. I'm gonna keep doing this and only this forever.
Yeah, right? Like it is like it is the exact kind of like a cartoon sicko murder child that I love. Like it's very fun to me that he's like. Yeah, I mean, you know, like I didn't really have a purpose in my life. Like everybody just kind of stopped caring about me in any meaningful way. So I figured I'd just kind of find purpose in what I was doing. And what I was doing was killing a whole lot of fucking dudes. I decided it's awesome to kill dudes. It makes me happy. I feel great every day. I love myself. I'm very healthy and normal.
Yeah, and then Naruto's just like, bro.
I love that this is like our first like moment of Naruto actually making the connection for himself that like, oh, this person's kind of like me. Like, oh, if I had like instead of like one guy who was nice to me, I had like 600 people who tried to kill me, I would probably be a sicko too. I like that like Naruto coming to this realization to himself for the first time isn't like this moment of like profound clarity and like figuring out how to reach out to somebody else. It's like just very scary to him.
Yeah, because it is scary. It's scary to look in the face of somebody who's just like you, except like a huge murder sicko who could definitely kill your ass and wants to.
Yeah, right. And like Naruto's gonna like figure out how to handle this a little better later. That's kind of like the arc his character goes on. But I love that like right now it's just like, ah, fuck, oh god. Also, yeah, Shikamaru at this point just completely out of his depth in the conversation. Like half the time he has anything to say, it's just like, damn, it sounds like your life was bad, huh? Like it's like an ode, and Gar's just like, yeah, that's right. And I love killing people now, so it's fine.
Well, okay, like doubling back to Naruto for a sec, I think what really gets to me about this is that like the reason like Naruto is like having so much trouble and like backing off is that because he relates so much to Gaara, he can't like he doesn't have anything to fucking say to him, right? Like he can't be like, well, in my life, you know, blah 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 blah, blah happened,
right?
You know, like, I had it tough too, and I smiled and I put it through, but he's just like, Dude, same. Like, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, right. Like, because back in the Line of Wave stuff, right? When he runs into Nari, he's like, yeah, actually, my life's been really fucking bad too. So why don't you think about that and like try to like move forward with a smile? And like, I was like, oh, maybe he's got like worse than me even. Ah, shit.
Oh God.
Like, I don't know what to say to somebody who's had like a worse life than me.
Yeah, and so like Gaara's like, I love killing. Nothing's better than killing. I love killing. I'm gonna kill you two right now before I get to Lee. It's an appetizer. Haha. And then Guy steps in.
Guy fucking shows up.
And Gaara's just like, fuck.
Guy is like such a fucking mood killer for him at this point. He's like, I just don't feel good about murdering when this guy's around. I mean, Guy is also like threatening to like fight him and beat him up at this point, I believe. So like that's not helping. You know, like Gaara knows that this guy's like probably pretty tough. But
yeah, I mean, like the dude that almost kicked my ass's dad is here. Like a bigger, cooler, stronger version of the dude that hit me for the first time in my whole life.
Like even beyond the fucking like whole thing of like, oh shit, what does it mean when somebody is nice to somebody else? That's fucked up. It's just like, oh, I guess this guy can actually get me. I'm gonna peace out. I guess I'll fucking wait my turn to kill you at the tournament.
And he will. He's a very good boy. He's very patient.
He's very patient. Yeah, let's all give Gaara like a round of applause. Let's all congratulate him for getting through this little really tough challenge in the hospital room. I'm really happy for him. I'm very proud of my son. Yeah, I think that's about everything I had to say about this part of the episode, or this episode in general.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Episode 59, the final rounds. Rush to the battle arena. It's the night before the final test and everyone's celebrating, or getting prepared in their own way. Naruto's nerves didn't let him get any sleep, and the feudal lords start rolling into town. Naruto tries to keep himself from getting psyched out by Neji before the day even starts, and heads to the training field where he became a genin. He meets Hinata and asks if Neji is really as strong as he seems. Hinata says he is, but she's still sure that Naruto has what it takes to win. Naruto isn't sure about that, and says he feels like a failure since he messes up all the time. Hinata points out how much she admires his ability to get back up and keep trying. Naruto feels better and heads out, but their goodbye is interrupted by the fireworks signaling the start of the tournament.
But before we get to the actual like main thrust of the episode, which is like the day of the tournament, there's like a few scenes on the night before I want to talk about. The first is that like I really like when Naruto goes to Ichiraku Ramen, and they're just like I like that these people like him. I like that, like, yeah, this kid's come to a shop every day. Like a lot of people seem to hate him, but he's good in our books. We're gonna give him like a nice big meal because it's a big day for him. We want to celebrate for him. Like it's just sweet.
It's really sweet, and I love that the chef like doesn't even turn around to like look at him.
Yeah.
Right? It's such a like, I don't know how to handle this emotion right now, like dad move to just be like, just fucking eat it.
For real, like Naruto's got so many dads, and I think this guy's like real underrated Naruto's dad. He's like his champion. I also think it's very funny to think about their perspective, where the last time Naruto was here, he was like tricked into paying for his own last meal, and then he came back and he's like, yeah, I was in the hospital. Like I don't know how they're handling that information, but it's I guess they're probably glad he's alive.
Yeah, that's what this was really about. It wasn't about the tournament at all.
It was like, oh, that guy seemed a lot like he was setting up to like throw you off a cliff or something. So
he did,
yeah. You know, the other scene I want to talk about is the scene where Shikamaru walks in on like his dad and Choji's dad and Ino's dad.
Yeah,
which like, you know, I think it's kind of fun to see these guys, except it's not very fun to see Shikaku, who is Shikamaru's dad, because he seems like the fucking worst. He's just kind of like talking to the other dads and like and he like basically unprompted says to, or like I guess not completely unprompted, but like the dads are like talking about the situations at their homes with their family, and like. And like Choji says, like, oh, it must be nice having a daughter. And then Shikaku's like, actually, it must suck having a daughter because women are awful. Like, just out of fucking nowhere.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it runs in the family. Shikamaru does not like girls.
It's just like unbelievable how bad this guy comes off, right? Like, Shikamaru wanders into the restaurant and Choji's dad is like way more excited to see him than his own dad is. God, and Shikaku doesn't fucking know that Shikamaru's in the finals. He's like, oh, what? That doesn't seem right. I mean, like, go for it, I guess. But like, that's. Are you sure? That seems fake.
Yeah, like, wait, are you sure? We only have one trick.
Like, I think it was going to take you a couple of years, you know? It's weird because I feel like when this guy shows up later, his thing isn't being a cartoonishly shitty dad, but he's terrible here.
Yeah, he's awful.
He's the fucking worst.
I like Choji's dad a lot.
Choji's dad is great. That guy seems like a great dad to have. He's just kind of like happy to be there. He's like, you know, he's like happy to see his like friends' kids. Also, he's just like he seems like a super warm guy.
Yeah, like I don't know if you ever had like a friend whose like dad was like everybody's dad.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah, like he's definitely one of those dads, and like I love those dads.
Yeah, it seems like Shikamaru really needs that in his life.
So good.
You know, like cuts to the next morning. Naruto can't fucking sleep. He's like wandering towards the arena. He like just manages to overhear a bunch of people going like, "Oh yeah, I hear Neji's up first. He's gonna fucking like kill some asshole. Like I don't fucking know what's up. But he's gonna like kick the shit out of some kid." And Naruto's like, I can summon a frog. It'll be okay. But he's like clearly pretty dejected. It's like a rough thing to hear when you didn't sleep last night.
God, imagine a fucking normal ass match. And then fucking Gamabunta shows up.
Fuck yes. Gamabunta just like obliterates Neji instantly.
just fucking picks him up with his tongue and just throws him straight out of the arena.
Yeah. It was like, well shit, I guess Naruto should be a chunin now, because like that frog is like that big toad alone is good enough, right?
Yeah, everyone there who knows shit about fuck is like, holy shit, is that
like,
fucking Gamabunta?
It's like Gamabunta. Oh god. Everyone's like, okay, maybe we should be preparing to make this kid a Hokage, because like I don't know if you know the last guy who summoned this guy, but it was a big deal.
Yeah. Also, hey, it was that kid's dad.
It was that kid's dad. Also. So like Naruto like runs into Hinata, and like every time we get a scene with Naruto and Hinata, I'm like wondering if we're like past the point where we have like the last scene with these characters that really works. But like this scene really works for me. I think it's like very sweet in a lot of ways.
Yeah, totally. It is building off of what like was established as like the thing that Hinata liked about Naruto.
Mm-hmm.
But like also like progressing it to the point where she is conveying that to him.
Yeah, and like I think it's very sweet that like Naruto, like he's in this like kind of shaken state, and like, you know, he knows that he's kind of aware that Hinata likes him and like thinks he's cool, but he's like, hey, I need to be real with you. I'm actually kind of a fucking loser. Like I act really big all the time, but like I'm bad at a lot of shit. I don't really know what's up. And like Hinata's just like, yeah. I mean, I know, but like you're still out there. I think that's great, and it's just super sweet. Like it.
Yeah.
Like, it feels like a big thing for Naruto to actually be, like, open about the fact that he's, like, you know, like, he has his own doubts about himself. Like, that's not something he expresses to very many people. And
no. Yeah, like, I definitely don't hate what these characters have going on right now.
Mm-hmm.
How long that's going to stay.
Yeah, I guess we'll see. Like, maybe this is the last one, or maybe there's some more good stuff. I would be happy if there's some more good stuff, but, like, I definitely know on the horizon there is going to be a point where I'm less bought in.
Yeah.
I do also think it's fun that like Naruto is like leaving, and he's like, you know, Hinata, I always thought you kind of sucked, and I was like, oh okay, and I was like, but actually maybe you're good. Like Naruto is so bad at talking to girls that he just sort of leads in with like the meanest sounding thing he can say, but it's okay, he salvages it a little bit.
Yeah, it's okay to say mean things as long as you walk it back.
It's okay. It's fine.
Right, because then the like minimum good thing you have to say about them.
Okay, hold on.
Reads is a lot better.
Now hold on. I don't really endorse this sort of stuff.
No, it's horrible. It's like in that like shitty like pickup artist horse shit, right?
But like Naruto isn't doing that. He's just an idiot.
No. He's just stupid. But like when you do this shit on purpose.
Yeah, don't do this shit on purpose, alright? Don't be taking notes. Like, generally speaking, don't act like Naruto does in your day-to-day life.
Yeah. For like a lot of reasons, actually.
Yeah, for a lot of reasons.
You ready to move on?
Yeah, sure.
Naruto's running through the streets to make it to the arena when he's intercepted by Konohamaru, who says he knows a shortcut. Naruto goes with him only to find the way blocked. Not wanting to embarrass himself in front of Naruto, Konohamaru insists that there's another shortcut, and has Naruto hop down a drain that takes him all the way to the hot springs outside of town, further from the arena than their starting point. Finally, Konohamaru leads Naruto to a bull belonging to a feudal lord. He says if he rides it, it'll run him straight to the arena super fast. Naruto is bucked off immediately, and the bulls start stampeding through town chasing after him. He eventually makes his way to the arena, and the bulls push him past the guards, saying it's too late to enter.
Okay, yeah. So I've probably got less to say about the second half of this episode. Like, I mean, it is less than half of the episode. It's like the last 8 minutes or whatever, if even that. It's like a pretty light. Like here's the comedy hour. You know, Konohamaru's here. He's got like his funny shortcuts that he's gonna send Naruto on. It's just like a. Like this could be like a standalone comedic short thing about like Konohamaru trying to get Naruto anywhere, like for any reason. It's like, I mean, again, it is like still pretty fun because I think these are like fun characters. To me, the best bit is definitely when Konohamaru's like, "Hey, here's the fucking president's cow. Why didn't you steal this shit? Because the president's got really good cows."
Yeah, he like just makes up horse shit about the cow to make it sound cool to ride.
Yeah, but also like the fact that Konohamaru is like vaguely aware of like the feudal lord's like an important guy, like basically only gets him as far as like, oh, so his stuff is really good to steal. Like he could just be like, if he's not careful, he can cause like a whole fucking incident, but like it's fine because it's like jokes, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, so like I'm gonna break cover and go and like hang out with Konohamaru.
Okay. Are you gonna cause some shit?
Well, I mean, I just think it would be cool if Konohamaru had like a cooler like adult like mentor figure.
Okay.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, and DC's not doing it for him. Do you think? DC's not good enough.
No, are you kidding me?
That guy's dead at the bottom of a well somewhere.
Yeah, Ebisu's a fucking corpse.
I think the other thing that's like pretty funny to me about this episode is when Naruto gets like pushed into the big arena at the like for the chunin exams. He's like, "Hey, there are all those cows following me," and everybody's like, "What the fuck are you talking about? There's no cows here. Those were in the manga. That's not real."
Yeah, right. Like they just like didn't even bother like.
They do not resolve it at all. They just like sort of hit the like barrier of like, okay, we're adapting the manga again, so they like vanish.
It's so funny.
It's like Naruto like ran into a town in MMO while he was being chased by enemies, and like all the fucking like higher level guard NPCs just killed them instantly.
It's so good. Like not even a like, the guards got him.
Yeah, it's just nothing. No acknowledgement of it at all.
Just nothing. No acknowledgement. No.
Shikamaru has more important concerns, like, hey, where's Dosu?
Yeah, where's Dosu and Sasuke? This guy that you thought was Gecko is here.
Yeah.
Is this his first appearance?
Maybe?
Because if it is, I have a theory.
What's your theory?
I think they started to draw Gecko and was like, wait. That guy died.
Wait a second, I just killed that guy like 5 chapters ago.
Let me make him slightly different and say it's a different guy.
All right, he's got like a stick in his mouth. He's chewing on something all the time.
All right, that's my this guy theory.
All right, that's pretty good.
Right, but he's even doing like the same like Gecko shit.
You understand how I got so confused. I was like, wait, these aren't the same guy. Like it's a very easy mistake to make.
Yeah. Or.
Okay.
Gecko was supposed to do this, and they didn't want to worry any of the kids about Gecko not being here, so they got Gecko.
They got the most similar guy. The guy who shows up to birthday parties to play Gecko. Oh my god. Do you think any of them noticed?
Yeah. Yeah, I do.
Okay.
But, maybe not. I mean, you were fooled.
I think Naruto probably didn't notice, and Gar doesn't care enough to notice. Everybody else, I guess, probably picked up on it.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Also, like, I'm imagining that Gecko was there and was like a little bit ago, like the Hokage held like a meeting with like the feudal lords, and they were like going through like the like docket for like the tournament and stuff, and like Gecko was there, and like he like introduced himself and was like, yeah, I'm gonna be like doing the stuff.
Okay.
So it might also be to trick the people in the stands.
Yeah, don't worry, nobody died here recently.
Yeah, no, don't sweat it.
Don't worry, the most dangerous criminal in the world is not at large in our village. It's fine.
It's fine.
Just enjoy the show. Bunch of 12-year-olds are gonna try and kill each other for your viewing pleasure.
I gotta say, I'm really excited to see this.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. I love it when kids fight.
I wonder do I have good news for you about Naruto?
Their arms are so short.
Do we have anything else here?
Not really, no.
All right, I think we're good then, right?
Yeah, I think we're good. What are we watching next week?
Next week, we are watching episodes 60, 61, and 62 of Naruto.
Nice. Hey, if you want to see some fucking kids fight, check out our Patreon. Patreon.com/Konoha Crush, all one word, Konoha Crush. We upload episodes up to a week early, so if you want to go ahead and listen to the next one, for just $3 a month, you get access to those early episodes. And for $5 a month, you get access to like bonus episodes, like the secret one we're not talking about yet. You'll know when you know.
You'll know when you know.
You'll know when you know. And if you want to see any of the images we talk about during the episode, you can check out our Twitter. That is at Konoha Crush, all one word, Konoha Crush. If you want to catch my streams, that is twitch.tv/Reziart, REZIART. That's about that.
What's about that? I don't have shit to play again.
Hey, you know what?
I'm just on this podcast.
Yeah, you'll get there. I believe in you.
I'm going to be on another podcast soon, but that's going to be on the Patreon here. So,
yeah. You'll know when you know.
You'll know when you know.
Hey, thanks for listening. And remember, there is no such thing as filler.